So, the other night I was scrolling and came across a simple question. It made me smile at first, but then it stayed with me longer than I expected. It said, "You wake up tomorrow and it's 1995. The last 30 years were just a dream. What's the first thing you do?" And I'll be honest, I didn't expect that question to hit me the way it did. Back in 1995, my friends were losing their minds over the PlayStation. I was still loyal to Nintendo. Jim Carrey was my absolute hero. Saturday mornings meant cartoons, cereal, and not a single adult responsibility in sight. The internet barely existed. Nobody was building a personal brand. Nobody was tracking steps or comparing lives in real time. And somehow, the world just felt slower. But here's the strange part. When that question pops up, it's not really about 1995, is it? You don't actually miss the year. You miss who you were. When you imagine waking up in 1995, your brain doesn't focus on the technology. It doesn't focus on the fashion. It focuses on possibility. Because back then, you were earlier in your story. Fewer mistakes behind you. More unknowns ahead of you. More room to become something. Psychologists describe something called counterfactual thinking. It's when we mentally simulate alternate versions of our lives. What if I had chosen differently? What if I had stayed? What if I had left sooner? What if I had started earlier? But when we imagine going back, it's rarely about fixing one single moment. It's about wanting a second runway. The older you get, the more your life starts to feel defined. Careers settle, relationships either deepen or fall apart, responsibilities multiply. Time feels faster. When you're young, everything feels temporary. When you're older, everything starts to feel permanent. So when someone asks you to imagine going back 30 years, it doesn't just feel nostalgic. It feels relieving. Because suddenly, you're not late. You're not behind. You're not stuck. You're just early again. And that feeling is intoxicating. But here's the uncomfortable truth. If you really woke up in 1995 tomorrow, you wouldn't just be younger. You'd also lose everything you've learned. Every lesson, every scar, every bit of wisdom you earned the hard way. Most of the people you love now wouldn't even be in your life yet. So when we fantasize about going back, we're quietly editing the scenario. We imagine keeping our current knowledge while erasing our current consequences. And life doesn't work like that. So maybe the better question isn't, what would you do first in 1995? Maybe it's this. What are you avoiding right now that makes 1995 look attractive? Is it a risk you didn't take? A conversation you've delayed? A version of yourself you've quietly abandoned? Because when that question hits hard, it's usually pointing at something unfinished. Not in the past, in the present. You don't really want 1995. You want permission. Permission to start again. Permission to choose differently. Permission to stop pretending it's too late. And here's something I've realized. You're always earlier than you think. 10 years from now, you'll look back at today and realize you were still at the beginning of something. So maybe the power of that 1995 question isn't about nostalgia at all. Maybe it's about clarity. It forces you to admit what you'd change. And once you admit it, you don't actually need a time machine. You just need a decision. If it were me, I wouldn't chase money first. I wouldn't chase status. I'd give my mom a long hug. I'd tell her we're going to be okay. And then I'd stop wasting time on things that don't really matter. So if you really did wake up in 1995 tomorrow, what's the first thing you'd try to do differently? And more importantly, why aren't you doing it now?